am the greatest.
Someone with color. Someone with color. Someone with dash. Someone with color.
What is up, guys? Marcellus Williams, aka TheSwolefessor, here to educate you on health, fitness, and social well-being. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about starvation mode as far as what it really is, separating the facts from the myth, because it has occurred to me that a lot of you really do not understand how this works. A lot of you have the wrong idea of what starvation mode is, how you get into it, and quite frankly, I mean, the best way I can put it is that starvation mode is a real thing, or the starvation response is a real thing, but the way a lot of you guys think of it in its entirety is completely false. Like when most people say starvation mode, the way they think of it is complete mythology. It's BS, it's not true, it's not real. So once again, guys, I'm going to be linking down below in the description box my video on how to discern fitness information, valid fitness information from BS. I strongly suggest you guys watch this video if you have not. I'm not just trying to get a bunch of views on that video. I'm really trying to help you guys because I give you a lot of tools that's gonna help you effectively be able to read something and figure out if it's valid or not. Because two things that I go over in it very briefly, two things that I go over in that video is one, learning to judge information by the validity of the information itself, not its source, because too many of you are too dependent upon one source or one person. Like you just go to this person and whatever they say, you take it as law. Even if that person's right 90% of the time, it doesn't mean they can't miss it. I can possibly miss it. So you guys need to be able to have the tools to recognize when that's happening so that you can call me out on it or call somebody else out on it, or at the very least be able to keep yourself educated. And then the second thing, guys, is because one of the things that I mentioned in that video is the importance of understanding that there are certain fitness principles that do not change. They aren't situational. Some fitness principles are, it depends on the person. Others do not change, like progressive overload and calories in versus calories out. And that's the one that we need to focus on for this video. So just so we have an understanding, guys, calories in versus calories out. If you are at a caloric maintenance level, meaning that you're burning the same amount you're taking in, you will maintain about the same weight. If you are in a caloric surplus, you will every single time gain weight. If you are in a caloric deficit, you will every single time lose weight, period. There is no way around that. The problem with the idea that a lot of people have about starvation mode is the following. This is what you guys think starvation mode is. That yes, you have to be in a caloric deficit to lose weight, but that if your calories are too low, you won't lose weight because your body's gonna try to go into starvation mode and hold on to its fat storages so you won't lose weight. Or you think that in some cases, your body will even gain weight, which is insane. Like this is why, think about it, guys. If you understand the principle that if you're in a caloric deficit, you will lose weight every single time, then the moment somebody even tells you that, oh, this is what starvation mode is, you would automatically know that it's false. Why? Because it goes against that fitness principle that we know is established, factual, and done. So it doesn't even make sense, right? Because what the mindset is, once again, is that like, okay, if my calories are too low, then my body, which is true, your body doesn't necessarily want to lose weight. It's like it wants you to maintain what it considers to be a healthy weight. Your body doesn't know the difference between, hey, I'm losing a little bit of weight to look better versus, hey, I'm losing weight because I don't have any food, right? So your body does have a starvation response. But the idea that this response is so powerful to where it stops you from losing weight is insane. That's not how it works, guys. No matter what, if you're in a caloric deficit, you will lose weight. And it doesn't matter like how severe that deficit is. It doesn't matter if you're only taking like 800 calories a day. That's not that's an extreme deficit. It's not healthy for different reasons, but you will still lose weight, period, no matter what. It will not stop. Now, I'm gonna also have in the description down below a really good read that's going to give you like different examples, different studies where they've tested different things, and basically just break down once again everything that I'm saying to you for those of you who enjoy reading it versus just hearing me talk about this stuff. But the reality is, guys, the starvation response, which is really what it should be called, not so much starvation mode, but the starvation response is a very real thing. This is what it actually does. The first thing it does is, yes, it does slow down your metabolic rate through something called adaptive thermogenesis, or what you could call NEAT, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Basically what it does is those non-exercise activities that you do, it slows down your metabolic rate so that you burn less calories when you do those things. So this can, yes, slow down your weight loss when you're in an extreme deficit, but it does not stop it altogether. Absolutely not. That is impossible. If you're in a deficit, you lose weight, period. And like I said, the link down below will give you studies of these people who are in extreme deficits in all these different cases and still lost weight. So that's the first thing it does. Yes, it is going to slow it down, but nowhere near enough to actually stop weight loss, let alone have you gain weight back if you're in an actual deficit. The second thing that the starvation response does, guys, is it's going to cause you to be hungrier. Obviously, it's going to cause you to be hungry and to have insane cravings. And this is what screws people, because what happens is people will go on these crazy extreme deficits, right? Like, let's say Monday through Friday or whatever, and then they have a cheat day on Saturday or whatever. But the thing is, or maybe a cheat weekend, but the problem is, because they're so hungry, they end up binging like crazy, binging so much. And remember, guys, a caloric deficit is not based off day to day, it's weekly. Like, a true caloric deficit is about 3,500 calories underneath maintenance per week. It's just easier to track per day. So even if you are in a deficit for 4 or 5 days out of the week, but you go back and eat so much on those last 2 days to where you make up for the calories you burned, you're not in a true deficit. So a lot of people will be in these deficits and they'll be thinking, oh, but I'm in this extreme deficit, but I'm not losing weight. It must be starvation mode. No, you're not actually in a deficit because you're eating all those calories back before the week is over. That's how that works, guys. The third thing that it's gonna do is pretty, I mean, most people actually experience this regardless if they're in a minor deficit or extreme deficit. It just makes you feel really crappy, right? Like, you don't feel good. Physically, you don't feel great. Mentally, it's because your body's trying to get you to eat. It's also gonna like mess with your hormones in the sense that, like, you know, your sex drive isn't gonna be quite what it used to be. And the reason for that, guys, is because, think about it, your body's trying to conserve energy. Having sex, as little as it may be for some of you, it actually does burn energy. Like, it does. That's the thing. Having sex does burn energy. So your body's not gonna want you to do anything to burn energy unnecessarily. So yeah, your sex drive is gonna go down. And the thing is, guys, you have to understand, with the starvation response, these things are gonna happen to some extent no matter what. If you're in extreme deficit, which, mind you, I'm not recommending, I'm not telling you guys to go into an extreme deficit. I'm just saying that even if you do, you're still gonna lose weight no matter what. It may be at a slower rate, it may become harder because you end up wanting to binge, all this kind of stuff. But if a person is in a deficit, even an extreme deficit, assuming that they actually stay in that deficit, they don't give into the cravings, they don't give into all this stuff, they will still lose weight. But it's just probably gonna be at a slower rate. That's why I always recommend, and that's why any exercise specialist or scientist is gonna recommend to you, that knows what they're talking about, is gonna recommend to you, go into a gradual deficit and build it up over time. And that's the thing, is you have to understand that even if you don't go in extreme deficit, you're gonna deal with these responses to some degree anyway, depending on how long you're in that deficit. It's one thing if you're just losing like 5 to 10 pounds, right? But if you're losing a lot of weight over time, then yeah, that deficit's gonna keep getting bigger and bigger. You're gonna gradually burn more and more weight. Now, a lot of people ask then, okay, well, if that's the case, like, how does that work in terms of like why you have to like adjust your calories? If I'm in a deficit, I should still be losing weight. Why does it seem like I stall? You guys have to keep in mind, the more you weigh, generally, the more you weigh, whether it's due to fat or due to muscle, the higher your maintenance level calories is gonna be, right? Meaning, think about it. It takes more calories for you to maintain being 250 pounds than it's gonna take for you to maintain being 200 pounds or 150 pounds, right? So think about it. If the maintenance level calories of someone who's 150 pounds is lower than someone who's 200 pounds, that means your deficit is gonna be lower than someone who's 200 pounds as well. So if you started your cut, say you're 180 pounds, right? And your maintenance level calories was 2,500. So to be in a deficit, you gotta be taking in 2,000 calories a day. Okay, that's cool. But by the time you get to about, and that's the thing, guys, the fatter you are, the more weight you have, the more weight you are, the easier it is to lose weight, because the leaner you get, the harder it is to lose weight, because once again, the starvation response, your body doesn't mind losing weight when it has a bunch of excess fat that it knows it doesn't need. But when you start getting leaner, your body's like, okay, I don't want to get much leaner than this, because it doesn't, once again, it doesn't know the difference between you trying to be healthy versus, hey, I'm not trying to be healthy, trying to look good, versus you're trying to be unhealthy. Your body doesn't know the difference. So when you get to a certain amount of leanness, it becomes harder. But part of that, guys, isn't so much the, oh, your metabolic rate slows down. So like I said, it does, but not nowhere near enough to stall your weight. What's stalling your weight is the fact that your maintenance level calories is now lower than when you started. Your maintenance level calories is gonna be lower at 150 pounds versus 180 pounds. So whereas before, 2,000 calories may have been a deficit for you when you're at 180 pounds, now that you're 150 pounds, your maintenance level calories may be about 2,000 calories, which means that your deficit's gonna be less than that. So the reason that people hit stalls in their weight, now I'm not talking about like a little temporary stall for like a week or so, like, you know, where like your weight maybe is fluctuating, so you may maybe have more carbs that week and water retention, but like the reason your weight actually stops, you actually stop dropping weight, it is because, let me make this clear, you are no longer in a caloric deficit. Period. You are no longer in a caloric deficit. If you stop losing weight altogether, you are no longer in a caloric deficit. It's not because of starvation mode. It's not even because of the starvation responses that I explained. It is because now that your body weight is lower, your maintenance level of calories is now lower, which means your deficit will be lower. So if you do not adjust your calories to being in that, to get lower so that you're now again in the deficit, you will not lose weight. That's the only reason that a person doesn't lose weight, because they are not in a deficit. Not because of starvation mode, guys. This isn't my opinion. I don't care what your favorite YouTuber said. I don't care what BS bodybuilding magazine that you read. This is fact. If you are in a caloric deficit, you will lose weight. It's science, guys. It's science. There's no arguing this. It's just the way it works. Calories in versus calories out is simple energy expenditure. That's it. That's all there is to it. That is why you're not losing weight if you hit a stall like it. It's not because starvation mode. It's not even because, like I said, oh, because yes, your metabolism does slow down a little bit when you're in a deficit because of the starvation response, but not enough to stop losing weight. If you're in a true deficit, you lose weight. I know I keep saying that, but I don't want you guys to leave this video without understanding that. If you have been dropping weight significantly and then it stops, and you're still at the same amount of calories as when you started, you have to understand those calories worked because you weighed more. Now that you weigh less, your maintenance calories level is less, and therefore your deficit calories will be less. So you have to now adjust to those new calorie levels to be in a true deficit. If you do that, you'll start losing weight again. That's it, guys. That's the truth about the starvation mode. That's the truth about the starvation response. That's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment down below letting me know that you did. If you did not enjoy it, please leave a comment down below letting me know what I can do to get better. Like the video, share, subscribe, read that link down below, watch that video where I had to discern fitness BS from without information. Keep it simple, specific, scientific. I'll catch y'all later.
I am the greatest.
Someone look power. Someone look power.